Trophy. This summer, we defend it. Every pitch, every swing, every drop of sweat, it all leads to one thing. History.
The Harwich Mariners.
This is the
Cape League champions.
Title push.
The second marches there, goes the first double play by the Mariners. Bouncer down the third base line, fair ball. Just there to match the letter, goes to second to throw down the first double play for the Mariners. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike three. Swing and a line drive towards left center field, steps down for extra bases.
Ground ball, it gets through!
Swing and a miss, strike three. The Harwich Mariners come into today riding high after a dramatic 6-5 victory in walk-off fashion to the Brewster Whitecaps in Game 3 of the first round here last night. The YD Red Sox also coming in hot, sweeping the top seed in the East, the Orleans Firebirds. It's the 2 seed and the 4 seed battle of the East Division coming up here from White House Field. We welcome you into Cape League TV with Luke Brenneman. I'm Gino Antamarino. Luke, the Mariners coming off of a big-time win yesterday. Talked to Pat Fultz. We talked to the guys yesterday and into today. What did that victory mean to those guys? And they said this is a victory we can build on for the rest of this postseason.
Well, I thought you were going to ask me, what did the victory mean? And I said, Gino, it means that we're still here right now. It was do or die, win or go home. And they win it in a nail-biter in the bottom of the 9th inning, and that was Mariner baseball. Gritty, tough fought, a lot of pressure on the bullpen at the end of the game, and the guys came through the bats in that series, 33 hits in 3 games. But like you said, a win like that, the momentum, I know YD's coming in on a day off, but wins like that can sometimes just push you to places that I'm not going to say you didn't think you could be, but to a level of baseball where you got to be this time of the year if you want to succeed.
Well, the YD Red Sox, on the other hand, are coming into this one after taking down the top seed, the Orleans Firebirds, in just 2 games. And they did it, Luke, in dominant fashion. They combined outscored the Firebirds 13-3 in those 2 games. Not only did they sweep them, they crushed them.
Scott Pickler's a heck of a manager. There's really no other way to put it. And when you stack him up against Steve Engler, Pickler in his 27th summer on the Cape as the manager of the Red Sox, he's a legend of the Cape. He's a Hall of Famer, the all-time wins leader. And what he's been able to do, mixing and matching his arms, his strategy in the bullpen against Orleans was incredible. And his team really played clean defensively. That was the difference in the series. And when you look at the offensive numbers, you said 13-3 was the score. If the offense can show up, the pitching is going to be rock solid. I don't know about that solid throughout, but Harwich has their hands full in this series.
There's the starter for the Mariners in today's game, Pierce Friedman. You saw on your screen just a few moments ago, Pat Fultz laid down the bunt in the bottom of the 9th that brought home the winning run off of an E5. I caught up with Pat Fultz before the game. Take a listen. We're back here at White House Field after a crazy 6-5 victory for the Mariners over the Brewster Whitecaps. Here with Pat Fultz. Now, Pat, bottom of the 9th, you lay down a bunt. Did you think that was going to win the game?
No. to answer your question simply, no, I didn't. I was kind of talking about it with my parents, and they're asking, what was your reaction to it? I think, honestly, if my first reaction as I was passing first base and I see the ball get past the first baseman, it's kind of funny. When you think about walk-offs, you think of home runs or, grinding an AB and getting a hit for the, the lead guy to come through. So for it to happen on a sac bunt is kind of funny, but we were able to get the win, so I'm happy regardless.
Now, that's a victory for you guys. I mean, as soon as you guys got it, all came piling out of the dugout like we would expect, and you guys are jumping on each other. I mean, that's a win that can really energize throughout the rest of this postseason. Do you feel that way? Is that a win that you can really lean on regardless of what round or what game it is moving forward?
100%. I think when you get into postseason baseball, whether it's summer ball, whether it's college baseball, whatever level you're at, being able to win tight games and executing something as small as a sac bunt is, I think, pivotal in terms of, being a team that has success in the postseason.
Now you are used to winning those big type of games in the postseason. You're coming off big year at Wright State. You knocked out the #1 team in Vanderbilt in the National Regional. I mean, what kind of experience can you bring with you from that game and those postseason at school ball here on the Cape?
Yeah, I think just playing in those types of hostile environments / like high pressure, high stake environments, really just the more of those that you can put under your belt, just kind of take the pressure off you when you find yourself in a postseason environment like it is here. So, for me, it was me playing in the National Regional. I think other guys, whether it's conference tournaments or if you're fortunate enough to play in the NCAA postseason, as many of those high pressure, scenarios you can have under your belt, I think always help in these scenarios as well.
I talked to a lot of the guys that have been here at the start of the summer, and I said, when you have guys like Pat Fultz and Ryan Garrity and Ernie Echeverria, guys like that coming in towards the later end of this season and really lighting a spark, what does that mean to you guys? And they said you guys have been fantastic in coming in and really just giving that new life, you can say, for the secondary part of the season into the postseason. Did you feel like that was kind of your responsibility coming here on the Cape to really get these guys ready to go for the postseason?
Yeah, no, I think, when I got the call to come down here, I was talking to our pitching coach at Wright State that assigned me here. He's like, you're kind of going to be a gun for hire was the term that he used. And that's kind of, we knew coming into it, kind of a plug and play type of guy. For us, it was myself, Ryan, Ernie's been a couple pitchers as well. We got Pierce going today. Yeah, I think we knew that we're coming into a team that's trying to make a late season push. So whatever they needed us to do, we were more than happy to step in and help.
You're going up against a YD team here today that had the day off yesterday. You guys playing 3 straight, now 4 straight, and you're going to keep going until whatever happens. But do you feel a little bit of a disadvantage that you guys didn't get the day off, or how are you guys feeling after a long one yesterday? Yeah,
I think you could look at it. It's kind of you could make it glass half full or glass half empty, however you want to look at it. If we wanted to, take the glass half empty, we might go, they're coming off an off day, more rested and whatnot. But I think the glass half full, and I think how we're going to look at it is, we kind of have the momentum coming off a tight win last night. Those are always really important in the postseason. So I would say that we have the upper hand going into this game.
All right, well, we'll see the Mariners taking on the YD Red Sox tonight at 6:30. Make sure you join us on Cape League TV for the pregame show at 6:20.
I love that answer from Pat. It's all about how you look at it. Glass half full or glass half empty. The Mariners actually do better when they just play straight through. Coming off an off day, they have just one win. That was actually in the final game of the regular season, the day off, first game of the playoffs. That was the only victory the Mariners have had coming off, like I said, a day off this summer. So it may actually be in the benefit of the Harwich Mariners. Someone else that really stepped up for the Mariners yesterday was Sam Harris. Had some great defensive plays, as well as knocking in his first extra base hit this summer, a double. Luke Brenneman caught up with him before the game. Take a listen to this.
The Mariners Cape League TV pregame show rolls on. I'm joined pregame with Sam Harris, Harwich first baseman, back in the lineup tonight. But Sam, let's take it back to last night. You had an extra base hit late in that game. Your first of the summer really coming on, especially driving in runs this time of the year. What's been working for you?
Yeah, I feel like I've been seeing the ball pretty well. For a little bit, I slumped in the season, but recently I've made a couple adjustments to my swing, and I'm seeing the ball a lot better.
Been rock solid defensively this entire summer, but with 2 outs in the top of the ninth, trying to keep the game tied up against the Brewster dugout, kind of holding off a ball boy. I called it an and one on the broadcast. You made a basket catch. That was huge. What was going through your head on that play?
Yeah, I saw it pop up, and then I noticed it was pretty close to the dugout, and then I saw the bat boy. It was a little bit in my way, and I was trying to get him to move a little bit, but he was kind of staying still, so I had to reach over him and catch the ball. But it was a great outing by C-Rod, and he pitched amazing yesterday and the rest of the season.
So how can you guys take such a big momentum-boosting win last night in front of 4,000 strong at White House Field and kind of flip the script, got to forget about it, before now the East Division Championship Series?
Yeah, I mean, we can forget about it, but at the same time, like if we keep playing how we've been playing, then that's really what we need to keep doing. We've been hitting really well. Pitching's been superb recently, so just keep up what we're doing, honestly.
That's Sam Harris, Mariner first baseman, back in the lineup tonight. We now send it to Trident Talk.
We are back at White House Field after an electric 6-5 walk-off victory for the Mariners to eliminate the Brewster Whitecaps in the first round of the Cape League playoffs. Now it's time for the East Division final between the YD Red Sox and your Harwich Mariners. With Luke Brenneman, I'm Gino Antamarino. Luke, let's talk about that 6-5 victory last night. A game where the Mariners didn't really have a lot of offense going, just 2 RBIs. But at the very end, Pat Fultz laying down the bunt, an E5 that won the game for the Mariners.
I mean, it's just good baseball. It's written down as Harwich winning off an error, but the Mariners put themselves in a position to win off an error. Christian Rodriguez goes 3 1/3 of no-run baseball to keep the game tied throughout the later innings, and then first and second, nobody out. Pat Fultz is asked to be unselfish, lay down a bunt, and he lays down a beauty. I think that was a hit the whole way. It forced the third baseman Mikalakis to make a really tough play, and he couldn't make it. So as much as it was a sacrifice situation, Patrick Fultz won Harwich that game, and the other 2 guys, Garrity and Conti, getting on, set him up for that. An unbelievable finish, but now you got to flip the script. As fun as last night was, 4,000 people here at White House Field. It's an entire new series, an entire new summer, pretty much starting tonight, the final 2 rounds of the postseason.
The YD Red Sox are in town. Now the Mariners have the season advantage over the YD Red Sox, but it's a Red Sox team that is no joke this postseason. It just goes to show that the regular season kind of goes out the window when you're looking at the standings. YD, the 4 seed, sweeping the 1st seed in the Orleans Firebirds. And it wasn't just a sweep, Luke. They dominated.
They dominated. They won every game start to finish. They did capitalize on a couple Orleans errors. They weren't as clean as they had been as a team in the regular season. Orleans was the #1 overall seed in the entire Cape Cod Baseball League heading into the opening round. So YD's a team that they've kind of pitched consistently middle of the pack, and their offense makes them go. When their guys, Tarnish, Hakopian, rise to the occasion, they're really tough to beat. Harwich has fared well. 3 out of 5 games, the Mariners have come out on top against YD. But this 3-game set somehow is going to live up to the hype even more than the Brewster one. I just know it.
Scott Pickler in his 27th season as manager for the Red Sox. Steve Angler in his 21st season as the skipper for the Mariners. It's not just playoff baseball, but there's a little bit more on the table for both these teams. We hope that you join us on Cape League TV. Our pregame show starts at around 6:20 with first pitch at 6:30.
The catcher from Wake Forest, number
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player. You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player. You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it.
After a 6-5 victory for the Mariners last night in Game 3 against the Brewster Whitecaps in the first round of the playoffs, Harwich takes another step on the stairway to 7 as we welcome you back here to White House Field. It's Game 1 of the Eastern Divisional Final between the Harwich Mariners and the YD Red Sox. With Luke Brenneman, I'm Gino Antamarino. Pierce Freeman warming up on the mound for the Mariners, making his second appearance on the rubber this summer. The Cape Cod Baseball League is delighted to welcome Reader's Hardwood Supply as the presenting sponsor of the 2025 Cape League playoffs. As a local family-run business with deep roots on Cape Cod, Reader's Hardwood Supply brings its commitment to craftsmanship and community to the most exciting aspect of the summer baseball season. Thank you to Jim and Paula Reeder for their continued support of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Pierce Freeman, the rising senior out of Maine, stands on the rubber at 6'1", 200 pounds. The right-hander faces off against the YD Red Sox, and this is what Scott Pickler, in his 27th season, goes to for his batting order. Jace Tarnish in the one spot, the center fielder, and he has been on a tear this postseason. 6 hits, 10 at-bats, 4 runs, 3 RBIs. He looks to continue that domination here into the second round. Following him up is Will Baker, the right fielder, with Armando Briseño in the 3-hole, the shortstop. 4, 5, and 6, Chris Akopian, the first baseman. Ryan Nedved, the DH, batting 5th. Yomar Carreras, he's batting 6th, the second baseman. Rounding out the order with 7, 8, and 9, it's Jordan Crossland, the left fielder. Jack Bell, the third baseman. And Connor Capisi, the catcher. As Jace Tarnish comes out, set to dig in from the right side. Pierce Freeman talked about only one prior appearance here this summer. A start in the penultimate game of the regular season as a first pitch fastball misses on the inside. We are underway in the East Divisional Final here in the Cape Cod Baseball League playoffs. 6:32, first pitch, the 1-0. Jam shot right to Sam Harris at first, who gloves it, 1 gone in the top of the first.
And how about this test? The story of Friedman, how he comes to the Cape League after breaking the record for the North Shore Navigators in the NECBL. Over 45 career appearances for him in that league. Another local Northeastern league, but to come to the Cape, he's a Massachusetts kid. He knows the story. He knows the hype. 6 2/3 of no-hit baseball, and now you can stamp it. You can say, well, I did that, and I'm going to go do, can't say again, but go show my skills out there.
First pitch to the lefty, Will Baker, in there for strike 1. But you're absolutely right. Some people scratching their head. Pierce Freeman, was that just a lucky performance, or is that skill? The rising senior out of Maine can prove that's just something he does. The 0-1, just off to the inside. First ball of the count.
I love that you brought that up, Gino, because the first question that comes to everyone's mind is why hasn't he been in the Cape League since his freshman year of college?
Right.
With those numbers. So it gives him a chance to say, this is what I do. I'm a good right-hander, and I deserve to be here. There is nothing lucky about 6 2/3 of no-hit baseball on Cape Cod.
Here's the 1-1. Ground ball through the right side, a base hit for Will Baker. And with 1 out, a base runner for the Red Sox. Boy, Will Baker really started to find his groove this postseason. Last time out, went 2 for 4 with 2 runs and a walk. That was in the second game of the first round between the Firebirds and the Red Sox. But in the regular season here on the Cape, wanted to be a little bit more consistent. His batting average was around .209 to finish the season. First pitch to the righty, Armando Briseño, was fouled off. But for the majority of the season, Baker was right around below 200. So for him to really kick it into gear when his team needs him most, that's pretty impressive stuff. The pitch mix for Friedman, changeup, that sits right around 81. The fastball, that's around 91. Cut fastball around 83. And then the slider at around 82. 1-1 the count to Briseño. Here's the 1-1. Runner from first goes. This one is popped straight back. The defense for the Mariners, starting in the outfield, Ernie Echeverria in left, Ryan Garrity at center, and Nico Brini at right. You can see on your screen there. Playing third, Pat Fultz. Shortstop, Sam DiCarlo. Second base, Jake Coonan. And first base, Sam Harris. Catching is Matt Conti with Freeman on the rubber. Here's the 1-2. Fouled straight back again.
YD really part of their game to get their guys moving when they're on base. Baker atop the order. He does bring speed. His issue this summer has been getting on, been delivering in the postseason. We'll see if he runs again in this at-bat.
The 1-2. Lined into left. Echeverria lets it drop for a base hit. Two on with one out in the top of the first. Back-to-back singles for the Red Sox. And up to hit is Chris Akopian. Ernie Echeverria in left. What a story he's been. One of the newcomers on this Mariner team. Actually the UPenn catcher. But because there have been so many injuries on this Mariner team, guys leaving, Echeverria has been tasked to play left field. We talked to him before the game, and he said, I've actually haven't played in the outfield since I was in third grade. Had a spectacular grab against Carson Tinney last night.
Save the game, Gino.
Save the game.
Save the summer.
And he said, you know what? I was just doing my job, trying to help the team win. 2-0 to Chris Akopian. Akopian, one of the anchors for this Red Sox team all summer long.
These are the situations that YD needs to get their power bats in, and they have one now in the first inning.
The 2-0. Drilled into left. Echeverria backtracking, makes the catch. Two gone with runners on first and second for the Red Sox to begin this ball game.
Gino, you talk to any outfielder and even routine fly balls. The second they're hit off the bat, it's not very easy to get a read on exactly where it's going to be. That's why even in the big leagues, you see guys run in on a ball that takes them all the way back to the wall. And Echeverria, in just his first now weekend ever playing left field, he said since third grade, has such a good feel on that first step of where a ball is going. I mean, that ball was crushed off the bat. He was patient. Just let it come to him.
Just timing it up. First pitch to Ryan Nedved in there for strike one. First time that the DH in today's game has faced off against the Mariners this summer. Rising junior out of Southern Illinois, Edwardsville. Was first team All-Ohio Valley Conference this past year. He was second on the team and 10th in the OVC with a .332 batting average. He was tied for second on the team with 66 hits as well. The 0-2 misses inside right at the feet. First ball of the count.
Big spot here for Friedman. 2 on, back-to-back hits. If you can strand them, a big boost in the opening inning.
The 1-2. Misses inside.
It's a call that Harwich wanted. I think it was just a little bit up and in. Jeff Kinney calling balls and strikes tonight. Another fantastic umpire, a veteran in this league.
Jeff Merzell over at first, Mike Hinojosa at third. Those are the three umpires today. The 2-2. Popped him up into left. Echeverria makes the catch and ends the top of the first with runners on first and second. Look at the smile from Echeverria. Still scoreless. We'll have the Mariners batting order when we come back on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Welcome back to Harwich. Game 1 of the Eastern Conference Finals here on Cape Cod. With Luke Brenneman, I'm Gino Antamarino. Steve Angler, in his 21st season as the skipper here in Harwich, elects to go back to the same lineup he had yesterday in a 6-5 victory against the Whitecaps to eliminate Brewster from the playoffs. You can see on your screen, Nico Brini batting first, and for good reason. 7 for 14 these playoffs. He's been spectacular. Jake Coonan right behind him. He's playing second. Ryan Garrity at center. 4, 5, and 6. Matt Conti catching. Pat Fultz, third base. Sam DiCarlo, shortstop. 7, 8, 9. Ernie Echeverria, left fielder. Kyle Wolf, DH. And Sam Harris, first base. On the mound, Clay Hendry, making his 4th start here this summer. His 5th appearance, a 4.76 ERA. Righty on lefty, first pitch. Low and away. The mix for Hendry: throws a fastball right around 88, a slider at 80, changeup at around 83, and a sinker at 88. 1-0 in there for strike one.
Hendry's had good numbers on the summer, Gino, but some pitchers that you see in the postseason in the Cape League are simply untouchable. I put Harwich's Troy Dressler in that conversation. I think this is a guy that Harwich can get to.
Ground ball to second. Carreras shuffles, scoops, and throws out Brini at first.
And what I mean by that is he's a strikeout an inning, very solid. About a walk every 2. That's where you want yourself to be in that category. But the sample size is only 11 1/3 coming into tonight in the Cape League. So he's still getting settled in. Some of the most dominant starters we've seen out here approaching the 30-inning mark if you're going every 5-6 days from, I'd say, about the quarter midway point of the summer. So as a guy gets acclimated into the Cape, there's only 4 teams left. You got to go after these guys and pounce on them because the YD bullpen has been insane in the playoffs.
Tyler Pitzer, one of those bullpen arms for the Red Sox. Pitcher of the year here on Cape Cod, plus various other names in this YD pitching staff. Jake Coonan up to bat. Rising senior from Princeton. Righty on righty. The 1-1. Swing and a miss.
You know, we talked about it pregame, the intensity that was in this building and stadium for the sake of an elimination game in the playoffs. Not as much tonight with an opening game, but you still have to bring the same level of aggression, emphasis, especially defensively, because in these 3-game sets, the first game is so crucial, and I would almost even call it must win.
You're absolutely right. 2-2 just off with the fastball. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Jake Coonan. We talked to Pat Fultz before the game, and I asked him, you guys didn't get the day off. YD had the day off yesterday. Does your approach change at all? Payoff pitch to Coonan. Called strike 3. Fastball on the outer edge. There's 2 gone in the bottom of the first.
The center fielder from
And Pat Fultz said it's all the way you look at it, right? Glass half full, glass half empty. He said, we're in a groove right now, and we want to keep it that way. YD can say, you know what? We had the off day. We can take some time off, take some time for ourselves, make sure we're ready to go. Or maybe you deal with a little bit of rust. First pitch finds the bottom outer corner on Ryan Garrity for strike 1.
I think a team managed by a veteran like Scott Pickler, approaching 3 decades in the Cape, I would argue that this team is ready to go. We were here even before batting practice today, Gino, and the Red Sox, they weren't doing their normal thing. Well, they'll come over and talk to their buddies on the Mariners. They're very locked in, and they've come in ready to play.
1-1. Put out into center. Jace Tarnish not having to move much. He makes the head-high grab for the 3rd out. 1-2-3. The Mariners go down in the bottom of the 1st. We'll be back for the 2nd right here on Cape League TV.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts, Milton Rents, your local source.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Scoreless as we head into the 2nd. We welcome you back here from Harwich at White House Field with Luke Brenneman. I'm Gino Antamarino. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Red Sox. Yomar Carreras leading things off, the second baseman, with Jordan Crossland on deck, the left fielder, and in the hole, the third baseman, Jack Bell. Pierce Friedman on the mound in the 1st inning, gave up 2 hits, but left Briseño and Baker stranded on 1st and 2nd. Looks to build off of that here in the 2nd frame. First pitch, fastball on the outside. Scott Pickler, the manager for the Red Sox, and just such a classic battle between the 2 skippers of both teams in the Eastern Conference Final, with Steve Englert in his 21st season for the Mariners. But Scott Pickler, all-time CCBL wins leader. He's got 600 plus. Ground ball to first. Sam Harris scoops it up and touches the bag. 1 away in the 2nd. But what's funny about Pickler is just how dominant he's been. You can talk about the championships. You can talk about the manager of the years. But his teams have been so good over the last few years. And to put that in perspective, YD finishing 4th at the end of the regular season this year is the lowest his team has finished since 2013. as Jordan Crossland fouls this one straight back. You know what happened after that year, Luke? I'll tell you what. In 2013, they lost in the first round, but they followed that up with 3 straight championships. 2016, that was the most recent CCBL chip for Scott Pickler, but it just goes to show how dominant he has been.
And I think for both managers, a lot of the younger guys, some of the first-year Cape League managers trying to get the feel for things, and what do you know? Back in the Final Four, you got Landers with Bourne, you got Pickler here with YD, Steve Englert.
0-2, called strike 3. First strikeout of the day for Pierce Friedman, retires Jordan Crossland. There's 2 gone in the top of the second.
But there's a battle tonight, and I love the aspect of a series. It was always that the division championship series was a best of 3, but now the first round being a series, and Harwich beating the Whitecaps 2-1 in that 3-game set. But now you get a battle. You get the game within the game, the strategy. There's more analytics. There's more scouting.
First pitch to Jack Bell, sails high and away.
And, Gino, I know in 5 tries this summer, Harwich did knock off YD 3 times. But it would not surprise me whatsoever. And of all the writers and other beat people that I talked about pregame, they said they see this series going the distance.
Could absolutely be a back-and-forth affair. At this point of the postseason, I mean, anything that happened previously this summer kind of go out the window. 1-1. Just off the plate. 94 from Friedman.
I actually heard a comment last night that said, June, July, Steve Englert.
That was not from a Mariner fan either.
It was not.
Here's the 2-1. Liner up the middle. Gets in the outfield. A base hit for Bell with 2 gone. And out comes the 9-hole hitter, Connor Capisi.
So the Cape League right now in the postseason, I'm not speaking for everybody, but most of these lineups that we're seeing series in and series out now are extremely top-heavy, especially when you look in the numbers. Some Power 5 guys, you know, the home run hitters, Kentucky, Texas A&M with Hakopian, and then the bottom 3, maybe guys you hadn't heard before coming to the Cape League, hitting a sub-200 average, new guys around, and that is the difference for the ticket to go win this whole thing. If the bottom half of your lineup can get on, whether it's a walk, a 2-out single up the middle right there for Bell, and then turn it over for the guys to clean it up, that's the recipe of success.
First pitch to the righty, Connor Capisi.
Because as much as people want to complain about it, we heard a lot of the managers do it throughout this summer where guys say they're going to come for the whole summer, then they leave. You still have to play the cards that you're dealt.
Right.
And that's where managing is really big when you're going out and getting guys day-to-day trying to fill spots while competing for a championship.
The 0-1. Flared off. But you're right, and then you also have to keep in mind the injuries at this point of the summer. Guys, you know, they're getting banged up, and also they want to make sure that they're not getting too banged up for when the school season rolls around. But we talked about Steve Englert going to the same lineup he had yesterday, but it wasn't like he had much of an option. It's not like he's got tons of guys to pick from, but, you know, it was funny because back in early July, you could mix and match in whatever lineup you wanted to throw out there.
There were too many shortstops.
Right.
All swinging a good bat. There were too many outfielders. But that's how you become a staple of the Harwich community. What Nico Brini's done as an everyday player. Jake Coonan.
2-strike pitch. Just getting a piece of it.
Give Sam Harris credit. He's been here all summer. Matt Conti, a catcher here the entire way, one of the younger guys on this team. So then you mesh that with a Pat Fultz, the game-winning bunt last night. He's hit 300 since he's been in Harwich. Sam DeCarlo's knocked in 4 runs already in the playoffs.
But that's so impressive because when we tie it back to Scott Pickler and Steve Englert, the 0-2 in the dirt, gets away from Conti, throws down to second. The tag from Coonan, not in time. Conti with a zinger from behind the dish. But Jack Bell just beats out the tag. So a 1-2 count to Capisi with Bell on second, but I wanted to go back to Pickler because the team you get at the start of June is not the team you're going to get in late July, early August. So the fact that you can have so much success in this league and in summer ball, that's really impressive.
I mean, it's proof that managing matters.
Absolutely.
These college head coaches out there, getting paid tons of money at these big programs, they deserve it. They're extremely talented.
2-2, ground ball to short. DeCarlo Fields throws to first, and that ends the top of the second.
And give the Cape League managers credit because they're battling the same battle. The transfer portal exists in the Cape because it's guys just transferring home, transferring to their girlfriends, transferring to some off time. And yeah, they deserve it. Yeah, they earned it. But it's tough on these coaches. They're on the phone a lot, and these two managers have proven they know how to play the game of the Cape Cod Baseball League.
The Mariners head into the home half of the second, retiring another runner, leaving him stranded on second. The Mariner defense looking to create some offense. Still scoreless here in Harwich. We head to the home half right here on Cape League TV.
When you need to dig, lift, move, cut, or just about anything else, then dial up the Rental Source staffed with equipment and construction experts. They'll help you get the right machine for the job and make sure it's delivered when and where you need it. With locations across New England and the newest and most reliable inventory, Milton Rents is your local source.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck knob. Instead of having to go get a whole entirely new bat, you can simply add the puck to it. Players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're
Bottom of the second here in Harwich. First game of the Eastern Conference Finals as we welcome you back here on Cape League TV with Luke Brenneman. I'm Gino Antamarino. 4-5-6 up for the Mariner bats. Matt Conti leading things off, the catcher. Pat Fultz right behind him. He's on deck, the third baseman. Sam DiCarlo in the hole, the shortstop. Clay Hendry toes the rubber, his second inning of work. His fourth batter faced. He's already got a strikeout to his name today. First pitch to Conti, a wave and a whiff. The Mariners riding high after a crazy, I can't think of another word to put it, victory over the Whitecaps. An elimination game 3 in front of a packed house here at White House Field. Walking it off in the bottom of the ninth off of an error from the third baseman for the Whitecaps, Mikalakis. But Luke, that game yesterday for the Mariners, it wasn't pretty. They had 3 runs brought in off of wild pitches. They had another run brought in off of an error. But in this postseason, as we all know it, it doesn't have to be beautiful. You got to win by any means necessary. It's ground ball to short. Briseño fields and throws out Conti at first.
You're right, Gino. The teams who find alternate ways to win, out of the ordinary with the bunt last night, maybe uncomfortable, not all swinging it well in big moments. The Mariners weren't very clutch. We can put it out there. Runner at third, 1 out, no out situations. But they grinded. They ran the bases well. They played extremely clean defensively, which is something we still haven't talked about, and that's a big reason they won. And you look at the air battles of a lot of these games throughout the entire postseason, I take YD. They knocked down the top seed Orleans, and in one game, Orleans made 4 errors.
Right.
That can lose you a game.
100%.
And that's 50% of the way there to advancing in a 3-game series, one game.
Fouled straight back from Pat Fultz.
So give credit to the coaching staff, to Steve Englert, because one thing that you can demand out of the most talented baseball players in the country is that you're smart, you play smart, and defensively you don't make mistakes. Just keep the ball in front. And Harwich was able to do that a little bit more than YD. And I don't think there's a better way to put it. 3 wild pitches in an error is how you score 4 of the 6 runs. Brewster probably hit the ball better. They sure as heck hit it harder.
You're right. 2-1. Fultz skies this one foul the other way. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the third baseman. You talk about in this postseason, mistakes can be critical. But this guy right here for the Mariners, he has been dynamite. 2-2. Called strike 3 right on the inner edge. Fastball from Hendry. Boy, he has been red hot to start this ball game.
Yeah, he looks good. Looks comfortable. Not trying to do too much. He's using that fastball. That's actually the second time he froze Coonan with the same pitch. So both of his strikeouts have been stared at by Mariners. That's how you can kind of tell that he's keeping guys guessing up there. And the guys who make the hitters guess, they just have such solid stuff and are executing where the hitters feel like they have to.
With 2 outs, Sam DiCarlo up to the plate. Fastball down the middle for strike 1. DiCarlo, rising senior out of Washington. These playoffs, he's got 4 hits in 3 games. His average of 4.44. The 0-1 lined into right. Will Baker on the charge. Makes the grab and flashes the smile to end the inning. 1, 2, 3 and back-to-back frames from this Mariner offense. Still scoreless as we head into the third. But before we send it to break, the Harwich Fund is a permanent local endowment funded by supportive residents and businesses. Since 2021, we've delivered over $85,000 in grants helping exclusively Harwich programs benefiting town families, children, and seniors. This year, our Mariner Games business sponsors, Shaw Star Markets, Harry Ellis Builders, and My Generation Energy will pledge $500 to the Harwich Fund for every Mariner homer here at White House Field. Pierce Freeman set to take the rubber in his 3rd inning of work when we come back on Cape League TV.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
At Cape Cod Healthcare, we're committed to excellence and compassion in everything we do, like helping people maintain their active lifestyles. Our innovative orthopedic program combines advanced techniques and leading-edge technology with highly specialized teams, including our nationally recognized Center of Excellence for Joint Replacement. Our focus is getting you back to doing the things you love, in the place you love.
The Center of Excellence and the quality of care that we can deliver makes all the difference to the patients. They understand that they can get the best care right here on Cape Cod.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning. Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion.
We're off and running here in Harwich. Welcome into Cape League TV. No score between the Mariners and the Red Sox in the East Division Championship Series, Game 1 of a best-of-3 set. Top of the order, due up for the Red Sox. Here's Jace Tarnish. Friedman out there for his 3rd inning of action. Ground ball left side. Fultz can't get there. Ricocheted off his glove into left field. A base hit for the leadoff hitter, Jace Tarnish.
Tarnish has been so good this postseason. First time he's reached so far today. But that one just took a little bit of an awkward hop over the glove of Fultz.
Number 2, Will Baker.
Someone that doesn't usually make those kinds of, I'm not going to say mistakes, but he's usually pretty sharp at gloving those down.
He was great last night. Fultz creeps into the infield grass. On the shift to the left-handed hitter, Will Baker. Right on left matchup, leadoff man aboard. No score in the top of the 3rd. Freeman comes home. Check swing from Baker. Fastball was high. 1-0. So now the 2nd time through the order, Gino. That's the 4th hit that Friedman has sacrificed. Most importantly, still scoreless baseball. What have you seen so far from the Harwich starter? Because you have to realize these are the first 4 hits he's allowed on Cape Cod.
You're absolutely right.
1-0. That nails the heart of the zone. 1-1.
Well, it seems like Friedman, is getting in a little bit of trouble, but does a nice job at stranding the bases. But, if you're Steve Angler, obviously this is game 1 of a 3-game series, but maybe you start looking in your bullpen sometime soon.
1-1. Liner up the middle, a base hit for Baker. Tarnish thought about third, he stays away. Garrity rifles it into second. Back-to-back base hits. And the Red Sox have 2 aboard with nobody out in the top of the third.
The shortstop from Cal State.
It just goes to show that the postseason is a different beast. I mean, we saw Gianni Gambardella in the second game against Brewster. I mean, this is someone that you looked at his numbers from the regular season. They were good. They were great. That's why you're in the start in game 2. But the Whitecaps came out ready to go.